Everybody, hello, welcome to hell. My name is Satan, and I'm going to teach you how to record some bass videos. Recording bass videos isn't very hard. It's all about just knowing a few pieces of technology that you need, a few tips that are going to help you along the way, and just know that the whole process becomes easier the more that you do it. I will say this is specifically for bass covers, so, bass players stay, guitar players enjoy from a distance. There are a few pieces of equipment that you will need, and I have them all conveniently right here. This is a pair of headphones. I got these in Korea for about, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks. You will need these for, obviously hearing your, instrument while you play. You're going to need this. This is an audio interface. It's for interfacing your audio. This is a tripod. This is obviously not completely essential. I think this was like $1. This is a non-essential piece of equipment right here. This is a light. This one's nice because it changes colors. Look. Now I'm yellow? I'm colorblind, I don't know. In terms of recording, I do all of my recordings on my phone. I will keep chapter markers, down at the bottom so people can kind of skip back and forth. We're gonna start right at the beginning. Let's assume that you know what you're gonna play, like the song. You will need like an actual download of the song, so go ahead and buy that. Over there apparently, and I'll wait. Okay, done? Good. Okay, moving on. I'm using GarageBand because I'm like 12 years old, but you can use something more alpha if you so choose. At this point, you can give yourself a pat on the back because you've done, well, nothing. Now, there are many options for actually, recording your bass, like, getting your sounds. The sound, you know what I'm talking about. There's two basic ones that you can kind of boil this down to. It's basically using an audio interface or using an external mic. I'm holding my hand empty right now because I don't have one. This is an audio interface. I like audio interfaces because they're cheap, they're readily available, and they're really straightforward to use. And that's really important for someone like me. This is the Focusrite Scarlet Solo. You have your input jack right here, which your instrument goes into, or at least the cable goes into. This is your gain. This is, how you'll control your volume. This one is for just how loud it is on like the headphones, so you don't really have to worry about that. Make sure to switch this to the instrument side of things, which they make pretty much about as obvious as they can without completely insulting you. Finally, it's time to record. So let's assume you know generally what you're gonna play. I would suggest practicing this a lot. It's easier to, fix problem areas of the song like while you're practicing as opposed to while you're recording. Otherwise, you're gonna have a million takes and all of them are gonna sound horrible. This is where your tripod comes in. Put your phone right in there and just set it up so you have a space. I'd like to have at least a bit of headroom. I don't like it like just squish. It makes you feel kind of cramped. No one likes to feel cramped. We like space around here. Says the guy in, a one-room apartment with 5 square feet. When you open GarageBand, you'll be able to select a track. Just select, guitar or bass, like the instrument one. I'll show it, right here. And that'll be your bass track. Below that, obviously, you have your song track. Keep the song track a little bit below 0 so you can hear your bass a little bit more while you're recording. We can fix all this crap in post once we're actually editing, but we're not doing that right now. It's time to do your first take. You're gonna walk over to your tripod, you're gonna hit record, and then you're gonna walk back to your sitting place. If you end up doing this a lot, like I do, it's nice to kind of mark your floor with some tape or something so you kind of know where to sit exactly every single time. So once you've hit record on your phone and you're sitting down, you have your instrument in hand, now you'll press record on the actual audio editing software and you'll do your first take. Congrats, you've still done nothing. I don't know about you, but my first take on any sort of recording endeavor is 99% of the time not going to be my best or anything close to it. And I'm gonna guess you're probably gonna be the same. Regardless, whenever you get like a perfect take or what you actually think is a perfect take, always do one more. So you've done one take. I would listen to this to see how your levels are. You may have to adjust the gain on this to make sure that your bass is in the proper sound levels. A good rule of thumb, there are exceptions to this, but like when you're recording your bass, after your first take, double click on the track like this and just check below to see what decimal levels your general sound is coming through as. It should be anywhere from about 20 to 50. Try to get it, within that. If it's too low, turn the gain up. If it's too high, turn the gain down. So you've done your first take. Amazing. Was it crap? Yeah, probably. So it's time to do a second take. So right click on your GarageBand bass track and just select new track with duplicate settings so that you can have, the same exact thing with all the, audio settings that you had prior. And with that, you're literally ready to do your second take. Oh, by the way, make sure to mute the first take so that, you know, while you're recording the second take, you don't hear it. Once you've done that, you're ready to, you know, press record on the phone and probably, you know, ruin the second take as well. You could do this process of, you know, just adding new takes and muting the prior ones pretty much ad nauseum. I've never tested how many tracks you could actually make on GarageBand, but, you know, if you have more than like, you know, so many takes, then you probably should have practiced more. So I would go back and do that and then come back and then, you know, get ready to record again. So you think you got the perfect take, you've already done one more after that, and you have like, I don't know, let's say you have 6 takes or something like that. Maybe more, who cares? It's time to listen to all of them and see which one is like, you know, your favorite, which is the one. Once you have the one and you're 100% confident, delete all the other tracks so it keeps the, you know, the file size solid once you're ready to export this. And, you know, now it's time to do your audio, you know, editing, like, you know, tone and, you know, playing around with volumes and stuff like that. I'm not gonna make this video too long, so I'll save that for another video. I will say this, keep your song track when you're ready to export, keep your song track to a fraction of 0, which makes no sense, but you know what I mean. I like to keep mine anywhere between like -15 and -20. Depends on the song and the vibe. Like, you know, just give it a listen. You'll know it sounds good. I also like to do a listen without headphones, like just through the computer, because that's how most people are going to listen to it. Finally, we are ready for editing. So airdrop your file, or however you transfer your file, whatever, onto your computer, you know, from your phone. Don't bother doing any editing on your phone. Now, I'm using Final Cut Pro because I don't know, I like the interface, but there are infinite amounts of free video editing software available. I will say, I would not use iMovie for this if you're using GarageBand, because basically just the audio and video are not going to match up, which is the goal of this portion of this. So I don't know, I would suggest, if you really want to use iMovie, just use like, instead of using GarageBand, I would just use like Audacity, which is quite popular, but I don't know how to use it, so I don't care. So what we're doing right now is we are taking our 2 ingredients, we have our audio and we have our video, and we want to make them into one. Basically, we want to match them up, and this is surprisingly easier than you may think it is. First, you want to zoom in a good amount of the way so you can see the individual sound waves, and you want to see the sound waves on both, you know, the video and the audio, because, you know, they're essentially the same thing because they're the same portion of the song. So I like to raise the video volume up all the way. On Final Cut, I think it's 12. So raise it all the way up so that you could see the sound waves a bit more, and you could also hear them so that you can, you know, get them as close to each other as possible. Once you find a very obvious looking like sound wave, one with like a very specific shape, just look for that on both of them and then just try to drag them as close to each other as possible. You could zoom in a couple more times just to get it like as exact as you possibly can. The more exact this is, the better quality your video is going to be, but it shouldn't take more than like, I don't know, a minute. From there, it's up to you. It's time to edit. You could put in some pan and zooms, make it look like an Instagram video, like pretty much every single one of mine. Or you could, like, I don't know, be normal, like all the actual successful base YouTubers out there. You know, do you. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter. This is just my method of how I do this. It's very efficient once you kind of get really good at it, but you know, it's fun. I really enjoy it. That's pretty much it, guys. Leave your comments down below. Ask any questions and I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. Like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you want to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon because bells start with the letter B. Follow me on Instagram if you want to ruin your day, and you know the deal. And